So Parshas Bahar, we are introduced to the mitzvah of Shemitah. This incredible mitzvah that really the entire land, all of Eretz Yisrael in a sense, lies fallow for the most part. We don't work the fields, and really when you think about it, and I think this is used by a lot of the seminars to be one of the proofs to the concept of Torah Sinai. Again, a lot of people don't need any proofs. Certainly the most famous one, I think, is what the Gemara says about the fact that these are the animals that only the chazir is the one who has but hoofs and does not chew its cud. The other animals, also there are only these animals that are the reverse. Why would the Torah go out of its way to articulate which animals? How, if the Torah was not given by Kodesh Baruch Hu, how would any human, how would Moshe Rabbeinu know that these are the only animals that only have one siman? Let him just say, if you only have one siman, it should be, it's not kosher. You need two simonim. You need to have split hoofs and you need to chew your cud. But you only have one, and these are the ones. What Moshe Rabbeinu was a hunter, the Gemara says, that he should know. Teretz is Mikan the Torah Sinai. I don't think the Gemara brings this, but certainly it is talked about, this idea that Shemitah, the fact that the Torah says you don't work the field every 7 years, you take 1 year off and you have to desist from working the field. And the obvious question is, well, what are we going to do? So typically you'd say, if there were people or one person who got together and decided, if you leave HaKadosh Baruch Hu out of the cheshbon and you want to believe, like the Bible critics in most colleges, of course, believe that this is a nice book. It's very, very well written, and it's a beautiful moral code. But that's all it is. It's just one of other humanly designed concepts and systems, I should say, that are nice for society. That's what this is as well. So we know, of course, chas v'shalom, that it's not true, but one of the bases to sort of prove that and to support that is this notion, because why would the Torah, if there was this idea humanly made that let's all take 1 year off, let's take a sabbatical, it'll be nice. I guess the logic would have been it's for the country, whatever, we'll get together and we'll focus on spiritual matters. All these things are very nice, but what you would have said, if you're going to discuss the issue of what are we going to eat, the answer would have been and should have been, if it was a man-made kind of concept, that you just don't worry about it. It's going to be okay. You'll store away, you'll save. Sometimes you have to suffer. For God, you have to give up, and even though it's going to be very difficult. Okay, listen, there are a lot of things you could have said, or you just completely leave it out and just sort of leave everyone at sort of the blind faith that we got to do this. No ifs, ands, or buts. That's what we got to do. That would be the logical, man-made approach to the mitzvah of Shemitah. But the Torah again doesn't go that way. Again, the Torah goes. And the only one who logically would ever do such a thing is only HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because only HaKadosh Baruch Hu could say what is written in the Torah. Don't worry about it. That if you ask me, he says, what's going to be? We're not planting, we're not gathering up tefus, so what are we supposed to eat? Okay, so instead of the typical answer, or just leaving it out completely, no, the Torah asks a question, you might ask me. If Tzivi says, so I'm going to send the bracha, and you're going to make enough grain for 3 years. You're going to have so much grain, I guess in year 6, that you'll be able to add so says you plant in the 8th year. I guess the 6th year will help you for the 7th year, and the 8th year you'll have so much. You'll have the 8th year, the 9th year you'll have more than you'd ever imagine. So some incredible miracle is going to happen to increase the produce for 3 years. Okay, now it's a nice promise, but how do you make a promise like that? How do you go out of your way to say, don't worry, if no man making this incredibly brilliant work, no matter how you want to discuss it and how you want to look at it, certainly it was brilliant. No brilliant person or group of people would say something like this. It's sort of guarantee. So they prove from here, this is also one of the proofs that the fact that the Torah said this about Shemitah, that don't worry, I'm going to send you more, is a right to the fact that it only could come from Sinai. It only come from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which is certainly a wonderful idea, and one should give us chizuk. But just another knetch about this, which is very interesting, is that the Mefarshim point out v'chisamru manoichal, that this whole idea of blessing, of promising this abundance of tuah for 3 years, comes to the person that says, what are we going to eat? What? If and let's say don't ask. Let's say you're one of those people who don't ask questions. You hear the Torah, you see the mitzvos, you read the halach and shulchan aruch, and that's it. There's no questions. The Torah, Hashem says, don't plant 7th year. I'm not planting the 7th year. So you had your tzaddikim who never asked. That's what the Torah says. I'm not going to ask a question. So what? They don't get this bracha. What's up? Is the dafke the chisomer manochal? So I saw really an amazing answer that really speaks to the different levels of bitachon, and certainly it's a very, very beautiful concept that certainly in life, I guess if we think about it, it could apply to us. Maybe we even see it in other places. The answer that the Mefarshim say is that you only get this incredible bracha when you ask. When you don't ask, you get even a bigger bracha. The bigger bracha is that it doesn't happen like it's a big deal. The bigger bracha is that you will not need as much. The bigger bracha is that whatever you have, the little that you have will satiate you, you've had so much more. Meaning that there'll be a natural bracha, a bracha that you won't have to rely on miracles. You won't have to go out of your way. If your bitachon is on a low level and you're asking, what am I going to eat? Well, for you, I'm going to have to perform something very amazing and very drastic, namely the 3 times amount that you normally would get. I'm going to send it to you. But if you don't ask, and you walk with HaKadosh Baruch Hu quietly, well, then the bracha becomes much more of a natural sort of a beneath the radar bracha, and that is that whatever you eat, you're going to need so much less to feel satiated, and that everything you normally would have will last you, that much longer. And this is really, so it's twofold. First of all, you see that there are different levels of bitachon, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu responds commensurate to that level. And number two, that's a bigger bracha. It's a bigger bracha not to need the open miracles. It's a bigger bracha not that things should go b'derech hateva, and that's really what happens to the great Bali Bitachon, that their lives, of course, once in a while you have a miracle, but the bracha is in a sense it's natural, and maybe that's also part of the story, story that the Hasidim came to the Chavetz Chaim's son, and they said, please tell us stories about your father, Begeder, Tzaddik, Geizer, Kadosh Baruch Hu Mekayim. We want to hear stories where the Chavetz Chaim made Gzeira, and it all came true. Let's hear stories. And the Chavetz Chaim's son answered that by my father was actually a bigger miracle. By my father, it was that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Geizer, and a Tzaddik Mekayim. That by my father, the biggest miracle of his life was that whatever HaKadosh Baruch Hu was geyser, he fulfilled. So it didn't go the other way around. And that really is a tremendous thing, to have that kind of, commitment. And in a sense, the message was that, in a way, sometimes having miracles happen to you is wonderful, but to see somebody who has an absolute clear commitment, just do what's right, that's the greatest thing. And we see from it that allows a person to be Zoycha Hashgacha Pratis of a much more secretive nature. We don't have to rely on the big splash situations that raise the eyebrows, stuff like that. That person's miracle happens much more privately and secretly. So Be'ez Hashem, we should really learn from this amazing pasuk that we shouldn't really, the best level it's if you ask, it's one thing. As long as you keep the halacha, if you ask, okay, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to give you an amazing result. But if you don't ask, it's even greater, and that relies on less of a nest. And Bez Hashem, we should be zocheh to have that ultimate higher level of bitachon, and that's chus be zocheh to only nisim nesarim, and of course ultimately be a Mashiach Meir Yemenu.